Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Trucking with Velox 18. We are over here in Dinwiddie, Indiana, getting ready to get this day started. We gotta get up into Chicago, into the Windy City. Let's get this day started. Roll the music. Yesterday when I got fuel, the truck stop didn't have any DEF at the pump, so I just figured I would get some this morning rather than getting a box of DEF or anything like that yesterday. You know, they sell DEF in boxes. You can add it to your tank by hand, but it's just kind of a hassle. Buying DEF at the pump, the diesel exhaust fluid. Sometimes I just assume you guys know what I'm talking about, and then I remember that not everyone who watches my channel are truck drivers. I have to back up and explain myself. But anyway, diesel exhaust fluid. It's the stuff they add to the exhaust system to try to capture more of the carbon before it goes out. So anyway, man, there's a line to get out of here because all these guys, these RJ Corman Railroad something or other, they were all hanging out at the fuel islands for like 30 minutes. They all just kind of were blocking up a bunch of the pumps and stuff, and then they were just like hanging out and talking and chatting together. Just, it's like having a little safety meeting or something at the fuel island. But of course, right when I get in my truck to take off, that's when I guess the safety meeting adjourned, and so now we got a line of trucks to get out of here because there were like 7 trucks all leaving at the same time. But then it's like me and a couple other odd ones that are just mixed into all their trucks. But anyway, whatever. It's early. It's like 5:30 in the morning, and we got to get to Chicago by 7 a.m. It's like 50-something miles, so I'm giving myself a lot of time. But as it is with most cities in America, the later in the morning you leave, the longer it's going to take you. So, you know, it's like a 45-minute drive. 45-minute drive if you leave at like, you know, 4 in the morning. But the longer you wait, the longer the drive. The longer the drive. Well, shoot, there's a long line of cars coming from the right. I'll catch up with you guys when we get over there to Chicago and try and make our way around that city without hitting any overpasses or anything. All right, we made it over here to South Chicago Packing, and dude, my GPS is trying to bring me down one of those Chicago streets, man. Yeah, I saw it said 12'8" overpass ahead, and I was like, all right, we're getting out of here. So we did a little, we had to figure it out, but you know, read signs and follow them. So that's all I did. I saw that sign on the first way that it was telling me to go, the first directions, and I just went back around the block and went to another street, and then just hoped that that one had a overpass that would work. So there was kind of a scary one right there, but it didn't have any sign on there saying how high it was. So I was like, all right, it looks high enough, even though it's kind of a sketchy, weird little, you know, overpass thing. It was okay. But anyway, now I'm here, and they just have a sign that says call this number on the door. The door's locked. There's like a doorbell, but it doesn't ring anything. It's not connected. So I called the number and left a message. They open at 6 a.m. It's 6:50. By the time I did all my driving around and everything, instead of getting here at 6:30, we wasted about 20 minutes trying to get through traffic in Chicago and then driving around in circles a little bit. But we got a 7 a.m. appointment, so we're here on time. But they're not here, I guess, or I don't know. I'm gonna start banging on the door and seeing what's going on, because I don't like being late. So, all right, let's see how long this takes. Let's see if we can find someone to get us checked in. So this guy comes outside and he's like, "You the one who just called?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, he was getting ready to call you back, but he's like, "You were just sitting out here ringing this bell the whole time. You forced me to come out here." I was like, "Oh no!" I was trying to listen to see if it was ringing anything. I was like, I thought it wasn't connected. He goes, "Yeah, it's connected in the office." He's like, "You made me come out here." I'm like, "My bad, dude, my bad." So I annoyed them this morning. So hey, it's a good way to start the day. You know, annoy the people who are gonna be loading you. But he said he's gonna go check the pickup number and see if it works. You know, I don't know if it's going to or not, but you know, we'll see. Look at that 389 across the street. He was sleeping over there too. This is a cool little area, like kind of out of the way. Next time I can just come over here and sleep all in the privacy over here in one of these little docks. Just tuck away. Just like little industrial area. All right, let's see how long this takes. He says he's gonna call me right now if that pickup number works or not, because it's the same type of number that we had yesterday. And if you watch yesterday's video, it's the customer's PO number. It's the receiver's PO number. So that's all we have is the customer POs, not the shipping pickup numbers. So yesterday they had to go into the system and look up from the customer PO side what their shipping number was, and they could do that. Some places they don't do that. Some places they don't. They're like, if you don't have our number, we're not going to load you. So you know, we'll see. Hopefully these guys are cool, and because they're all 145 numbers, so I think they're all the customer numbers. That's all we have is the customer POs. So yeah, we'll find out right now. We'll see if we can get in here and get loaded up. I got about half a trailer worth of stuff already, so there's not a ton of room to put more stuff on the trailer today, and we got 2 stops, so can't be picking up that much stuff here. So hopefully the actual loading won't take too long, but hopefully we won't. We got some honkers flying. Woo! Anyway, so yeah, hopefully this won't take too long to get set up, because you know, to get checked in with that load number and stuff. So anyway, we'll see. All right, he just called and said back into door 8. So I'm gonna come back here and pop this seal, and then open up my doors and back it in, bro. Back it in. Got a little cable seal, but it's a little one. My snips disappeared on me. I don't know where they are, so I've just been getting crazy with my hammer. And just like such as the Iraq, we're unsealed. All right, it's starting to sprinkle. It's supposed to rain a little bit today. I'm gonna get this thing opened up, and then we'll get back in. All right, so he just called me back right now, right as I got back in the cab. to back into this dock, and he was like, "Hey, you got 11 pallets. How do you want them? You know, you want one in the nose and then double back, or how do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Well, dude, I already got a pretty good amount of stuff in there. So 11 pallets might take us pretty close to the back of the trailer. So we'll see about this. We'll see about this final stop today. I don't know, man. This is one of those interesting things when you're doing an LTL load, you know. All right, we're gonna get this thing spun in here, and we'll talk to him about how to organize it once we get it in the dock. All right, they loaded me up. What we're getting here is way heavier than what we got the first pickup. So my weights are all out of whack. My trailer tandems were at 40-something thousand. I mean, I was on an incline too, or a decline, whatever you want to call it, incline. But yeah, like more weight was on the trailer. So I got up here as level as I can, and then I slid the tandems back pretty far, and I'm in Chicago. So like trying to navigate around with my tandem slid back is gonna be lame, but and I'm pretty sure there's probably a bridge law in Chicago. Even if Illinois in general doesn't have a bridge law, and a bridge law is how far you can have your tandems back from your kingpin. I bet Chicago like city has a law like that, because it's just harder to make corners. You off track a lot more. You have to take everything wider, and obviously in the city that's not good. You don't have a lot of room. So this is kind of a mess. That, and they took, you know, they went all the way back to the back of the door with the lard. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, is there any way to stack these?" And he's like, "No, not these, man." He's like, "This is lard, so you can't stack it." He goes, "The stuff that's up in front might be able to be stacked, but we can't touch it. We're not allowed to touch it." And I'm like, that's what everyone says, man. So I'm gonna have to call the broker and ask them what they want to do and how they want to figure it out. So I'm gonna make that phone call. I'm just gonna kind of find somewhere to stay out of the way from these other guys, and then and then just go from there, man. Just make the phone calls, see what the broker wants to do. If they know of a cross-dock facility that's willing to get in there and rearrange everything and get it fitting in there right, then they can pay the cross-dock facility to do that. If they want to just skip the last pickup and they can send it on a different truck, I mean, they are a mega carrier. They got trucks everywhere, so who knows? But I'm gonna give them a call and let them know what's going on, and see if they're gonna make me rework it, or just start heading on my way to Wisconsin. I don't know. I have a feeling it's too early for them to pull the trigger on that. I think they're gonna try and make me wait around for a while, because that's just what people do. That's just how brokers are. They're not gonna make a decision on this until like this afternoon, because they're gonna wait, and they're gonna kind of just see if they can get a hold of the customer, see if the customer is willing, see if they have another, they're gonna kind of like try and figure something out on their end, but they don't have any urgency to. It's just kind of, for them, it's like, I don't know, we'll see, I don't know. So anyway, I'll make that phone call, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so the broker asked me to send him a picture of the back of the trailer, so I'm gonna send him a screenshot of this and just show him, we're all the way back. So that is what we're doing, and we'll see what happens. All right, I hung out over there as long as I could, and now there's a Love's truck stop like 19 minutes away, I don't know how many miles, like 15 miles away, something like that. I'm gonna go back out of the city, which I'm gonna pass the third pickup. But like in these situations, I like to just try to stay put, but I don't really want to park somewhere where I'll be, you know, where I'll have to just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving, you know? So I figure I'll just hang out at the Love's truck stop. I'll look for loads for tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Because right now, we're just waiting on the broker to give me a call back and let me know what they want to do, you know, what their plan is, because it's, yeah, they're either going to send me to a cross dock, and they didn't say this, but I know what the options are. They can send me to a cross dock to rearrange the entire load, because he knows how much the total weight of the load is, and so he's trying to decide if he wants to, you know, if he can fit the total weight on the truck if it got arranged properly. So, you know, he may want to rearrange the load and like double stack some of the paper products and stuff. But as it is now, well, let's see if these people don't back into each other. These trains are moving and the trains are stopped right here, so everyone's trying to turn around. I don't have anywhere to be, so I don't mind waiting. Plus, the other direction is where that the 12'8" overpass is that I don't want to try to go under. So I'm just gonna hang out right here, and you know, these things take as long as they take. I remember when we did sulfur, sometimes those guys would block us in. One of the sulfur plants was completely surrounded by railroad tracks. They wrapped around the place in like a circle, and so you had to cross the tracks to get out. And there was two different ways to get out. There was one where you had to like hop the tracks almost. Like there was, you know, it was like paved, but like roughly, and I don't know, it was way more dangerous to get out that way. But a lot of times they would be blocking the main entrance and exit, and so you'd have to kind of jump the tracks a little bit. But anyway, sometimes they'd be blocking both, and you just get stuck in there for like an hour. And it's just, when you're a local driver and things are, you know, things need to stay moving. That's just how things work in local work. If you sit an hour somewhere, that's like an hour of home time you just gave up, and you already don't get much home time because you already work 12 to 14 hours a day. And then you gotta, you know, commute home and fill out your paperwork in the office and all that bull crap. So it's like, you know, you end up working for 14 hours instead of 12 and a half just because you were, you know, trapped behind a train. It kind of sucks. So, but today, no big deal. We got two sets of rail cars blocking this road right now, and they're stopped and they're not moving. So we'll just pop the brakes and we'll see how long this takes. All right, we're still waiting here. It's been about 20 minutes that we've been sitting. Actually, it's been 30 minutes that we've been sitting, but 20 minutes since I recorded. And so we just got the go-ahead to just head to the receiver. So it's got a 5 a.m. delivery tomorrow morning, and now I'm just trying to find a load. I figure here's as good a place as any, right in the middle of the road, to start looking for loads. So I've got my laptop open, and I'm just, hey, we're gonna look for a load and see if we can't find something to do tomorrow. And yeah, I talked to my contact up here in Wisconsin to try to see if I could get something. I'd have to deadhead up a little ways up into Wisconsin to pick something up for him, and unfortunately he doesn't have the loads that like, I know he has one load that like goes close to my house, so of course that one's always on the table. If he has one, I'll take it. But then he had other loads going down to Florida that paid really well, so I kind of was kicking those around, like maybe I'll grab one of those. He can't get one of those on the truck until Friday, so maybe if I run around here local, grab one of those on Friday, head home, you know, on Saturday or whatever, and then just deliver it down in Florida on Monday, that might be something I could do. I would just have to kind of stay busy around Chicago again for a day and a half. So, you know, it would probably make sense to do it that way. But you know, then it's like, okay, it pays really good to go down to Florida, but then I'm deadheading out of Florida on Monday trying to find and starting my week down there. You know, it's like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, right? You're like, this week would look really good. You know, if you added all the revenue onto this week, I'd be sitting pretty. I'd be close to $10,000 if I found some stuff to run around up here, you know, with, I'd be sitting close to $10,000. That'd be one of my better weeks I've had in a long time. But I'd be starting next week in Florida, using up hours on Monday to make the delivery. And, you know, it'd just be kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, then I don't deliver my first load until, you know, Tuesday or even Wednesday next week. And I'm doing it at like $2 a mile. So, you know, then next week's just going to be a loser week. So I'd like to try to do stuff that keeps me consistently paid, which is hard. You know, this is why guys who are OTR, they would tend to go out for 10 to 14 days and then go home for a few. And then they'd go out for 10 to 14 days because it just kind of, you can follow the loads around a little easier. I think in California, because the way the market is, you're just kind of smushed up against the ocean there. There's like, you can go north, you can go south, you can go east, but you can't really go west. You know, there's not a lot going on out there. And so there was some other local stuff I could run around with out there too, to where I could kind of make my weeks work to get home every single weekend, no matter what. But seems like around here, and I mean, the market changed as soon as I moved to Tennessee. So it's hard to compare. It's not apples to apples, you know. I don't know if in California, if I'd be able to do what I was doing before anyway. You know, in my mind, I'm like, man, I was doing good when I was out there. I was getting home every weekend. It's like, I may not have been able to do that with the market the way it is right now. You know, it's not like freight in California is doing that good. I just looked at loads in California just to see if, you know, because this is a decent lane going from Chicago to California. It's not terrible. So I was like, maybe I'll grab something out of here and go down to, you know, to LA and then try to grab something from there out to Tennessee. But that lane going east out of California is just paying terrible. I mean, like $4,500 on 2,300 miles, 2,100 miles. It's like not even $2 a mile, maybe $2 a mile if you're lucky. And it's just not worth it, man. Just not worth it. So, hey, I'm going to keep looking for loads. I'll catch up with you guys once these trains move, if they move. I may get to a point where I back up and then I try to go, because I can go down and then go down maybe like 2 blocks and then cut over and see if the train's still there. But if I go down like too far, that's when I run into that 12'8" bridge. So I don't know. It kind of just depends. Now that I have the go ahead to take off and leave, I'm kind of itching to get the heck out of here now. When I didn't know what I was doing, I was happy to just sit here. It's like a nice, it's a no parking zone, but guess what? It's a train. I can't do nothing but stay parked and look for loads. But anyway, all right, I'll catch up with you guys once the train moves, once we know what we're doing, and if I find a load, I'll let you guys know and all that good stuff. All that good stuff. All right. Got that train to move. Actually, no, we didn't. It moved, and then I started backing up because I looked on the map and I was like, okay, if I go down like I was next to like 43rd Street, and if I went down to 47th Street, that looked like a truck route. like on Google Maps overhead view, you could see there was a bunch of trucks on that road. And even though it did go under some pretty low, you know, railroad trestles, little bridges, yeah. Anyway, so I backed all the way up about a half block. I backed into some empty docks that were just sitting there empty. So I used those to kind of get out of the situation I was in. All the cars that had been in front of me and behind me, they all lost their nerve for waiting after about an hour. We were there for so long. It was really funny. Anyway, finally, one of the trains moved, and then the second train was just chilling, so I backed out of there. And then right as I was finishing that 3-point turn, you know, it took me like, I don't know, 3 minutes or so to back up and back into the dock. And, you know, I had to readjust myself so I could, I didn't, you know, angle my trailer in a way so I could back out of the road. I angled my trailer so I could be out of people's way and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I went ahead and backed into that dock, and then I saw the second train start moving. I'm like, of course they're gonna move right now. And I was like, well, screw it. I'm already this far, and who knows if they're gonna stop it again. And, you know, if I pull back up over there to the railroad tracks and then find out that they were just moving the train and then they stop it again, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. So I just went ahead and pulled out, and we went over to 47th Street, and that was a good truck route. Like I said, there was one railroad trestle that I was like, man, there's no height sign on it, and there was tons of trucks on there and containers, like high cube containers. Like I knew I could fit, but it still was like, man, that feels low. That feels low. But anyway, so we got out of there, and now we're just sitting in traffic right here on the 90 and going up right here through Chicago, and I'll grab 94 and or is it just stay 90? I forget. I don't know. I got it in the GPS. You guys know me. I don't try to act like a Mr. Know-It-All on the directions side. I'm not familiar with these roads and these areas, so but I'm gonna head west and go up through like Beloit and just take the tollway up there. It's not very expensive, so I'll take the tollway. I already paid the Illinois tollway, so now anytime I take the tollway, it just comes out, you know, comes off my card automatically. So yeah, so not like I don't have Easy Pass, but for the Illinois tollway anyway, it's really easy because it's already, the card's saved, and they just see my license plate roll through here, and they charge me. So I'll just roll across the Illinois tollway, get the heck out of Chicago, and yeah, we'll get up towards the Illinois-Wisconsin border, and then we'll go from there. My delivery isn't until tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. If I want to, it's time to replace the steer tires. I got 137,000 miles on my steer tires, and it's getting to be winter time. I just figure let's just get the steer tires straightened out, and then the wear pattern on one of them is a little weird, so I'm gonna get some new steer tires soon. But maybe since I have time, like today, maybe I'll get it done. Yeah, I'll call around to some shops and see who has time, and see if maybe I can get some tires on this thing today, because I know they're crazy expensive, but you know, wouldn't that suck? Like, truck for sale and then blow out a steer tire and cause a bunch of damage and stuff. Like, that would be terrible. That would just seem like the dumbest way to ruin a plan, is to not take care of preventative maintenance that you already know you need to do. And I'm probably late by, you know, thousands of miles anyway. I talked to one guy, he's like, he changes out his steer tires every 100,000, and he'll just rotate those ones back onto the trailer. if they're still good. But yeah, as far as I go, I hadn't really put a number on it. I was just gonna kind of watching them until they looked like they needed to be changed out. I had some gouges taken out of them, I think over some railroad tracks or something like that. I had some gouges and some things happened, and then it just started wearing out. Super weird. So it's time for me to get them changed out, and then so anyway, so I might do that today. Who knows? But we're inching our way through Chicago traffic. I'll catch up with you guys when we get where we're going, whenever we get there. All right, we got those steer tires put on, the Loves, and ended up with Hankooks instead of the Bridgestones, which I would have preferred, but whatever. It's what they had, and the timing worked out for me to get them done, and I was just done trying to push these tires any further. I just like, all right. And you know, maybe this little storm we're having, the storm actually goes, so I'm getting rained on up here in Wisconsin, and then my son Miles got rained on earlier today down in Mississippi, and then there's there's just this line of storm all the way down from Chicago and or you know, from this area, from the Great Lakes, and it's not really moving up here. It's pretty much staying stationary, and then but all the heavier storm activity is down further in the south. Mississippi and Alabama are getting it pretty good, and but it's going to move over into Tennessee and Nashville area, and so anyway, so I'm going to get rained on by the same storm system that my wife's going to get rained on, and my kids. So yeah, kind of a interesting little weather fact for you guys. Weather with Velox. Anyway, so I'm just hanging out here at the Pilot. I'm gonna take a shower pretty soon. There's a taco truck in the Menards parking lot. Oh, Menards! I can't say that without saying that, sorry. We only did 162 miles today. We just went from Dinwiddie, Indiana, made our second pickup in Chicago. Obviously they canceled our third pickup, so we came out this way. We got 15 miles to go to make our delivery in the morning. That's at 5 a.m. and then tomorrow's another weird day. We just got a 30-mile deadhead to make our pickup, but our pickup is late. It's later in the evening, so we're gonna have a lot of time tomorrow to kind of play with. So I don't know, but that's for tomorrow's video. We'll worry about that when we worry about it. Maybe I don't know, I'll do some other stuff to try and stay productive. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. I haven't gone live in a while. And I usually don't go live from the truck, but maybe that'll be a new thing. I'll be like Cash is King, trying to go live in the truck. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, by the time you watch this, it may have already happened. Who knows? Sometimes these videos take a day or two for me to get them out, but or maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully this video will be out in the morning tomorrow, so then if I go live, yeah, so if you're watching this the day that I release it, maybe I'll be live later. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. Sometimes I go live, sometimes I don't. But yeah, this is where we're gonna cut the video off, because there's really nothing else left to say or do. When you only do 162 miles and make one pickup, there's not a whole lot to talk about or to cover. You know, I tried to stretch it out a little bit. You know, I'm probably not gonna edit as much as I normally do, because normally I have about 45 minutes to an hour of footage, and I try and cut it down to 30 if I can, 30 minutes. But today I may not do very much cutting. It might just be 30 minutes or however long it is. I doubt that I cut very much out of it, because I don't think I recorded very much today. So anyway, yeah, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna make the delivery for this. It's all for Checkers and Rally's fast food. So we got Checkers food in the back, and then so we'll make some delivery over here to a food distribution place, and then we'll go make our pickup tomorrow night. So yeah, catch you guys tomorrow when we do that. Love you guys. Peace out. See you on the next one. Yes, I am walking about, I don't know, between probably a third of a mile. Walking about a third of a mile in the rain, because there's a taco truck. I could drive. I could unhook from the trailer and leave the trailer over there and just go over here, bobtail over here. But I mean, it's not that far. It's not raining hard right now. It rained hard for a little while, but gotta get some tacos, man. The Dona Concha is closed. They closed early. They closed at 8:30. I actually asked them earlier and they said it was 8:30, but it's only 7:30. But I think because it's raining, they don't have too much business, so they probably just want to go home. It's not like there's no other food around here, but that's definitely the best option around. But yeah, we'll see what we get stuck with now. Not quite the Mexican food I was hoping for. We got that Taco Bell. Wah, wah, wah.